Welcome, everybody. If you may notice, I'm not Rev Patrick or Rev Rita because they're away. And you know what the old saying says? When the Revs are away, the cats come out to play. Would you look into, Quanta, would you look into the camera so they can see you and say good morning? Thank you. That was timed nicely because we had to coordinate that. Okay, so we're going to start off with an invocation. And if you don't know where you are at the Center for Spiritual Living Kauai. And so, take a deep breath, close your eyes if you choose. If not, keep them wide open. But what I know is that knowing inside of my very essence is the one power that created everything in this universe. The stars, the planets spinning around the stars, this planet Earth, our beloved planet Earth. So, this is the same power that's working in and through each of us right now, each human being. There is no spot in that this power is not. It is everywhere, and call it by whatever name you choose. You can call it God, Spirit, whatever. Does it care what we call it? No. But it is that essence of life that pours into us and through us at each and every moment. So I know as I breathe into this truth at this moment that Spirit is right here in this service, in our music, in our words, in our goodness, in our gladness, in every breath we take. And I'm so grateful for that. And so let's breathe deeply into the recognition of this very moment that is Spirit-led as we affirm together. And so it is. Mahalo to you for being here. Okay, so, page 2. As you can tell, I'm a rookie at this. This is not my normal job. So, I'm going to read our vision statement, which is above my head. You can help read it with me. Awakening humanity to its magnificence by walking the bridge from duality to unity consciousness. Thank you. You're part of the service now. So our affirmation this month, for the month of August, is a new one. We have a different affirmation every month, and it's called repurposing. And the affirmation itself is, I rise, I reimagine, and renew. Would you like to repeat that with me? I rise, I reimagine, and I renew. So now I invite up Reverend Diane to lead us and talk to us about what Science of Mind is about.
Sound. There we go. We light this candle. It's a remembrance of peace, and it's so I think it's important for us to have that lit today as we send peace out into the world. The science of mind and spirit is the art and science of transforming our lives, really. And so I invite you today to take this service and look for ways that you can use it in your life. We change our life by changing how we look at our life and how we look at life in general. Knowing that there is a creative power for good and that we can use it absolutely transforms the way we look at situations. And so I hope you'll join me today in walking out of here at the end of the day knowing that transformation is possible in your life. Thank you.
Okay, we have a little ritual we go through at this time. And this is a reminder for everyone to know something about themselves, and just in case they didn't know this. So my first question is anybody here for the very first time in your lifetime? Okay, one only? Okay, well, we have something to tell you about yourself. Did you know this? Are you waiting with anticipation? Oh, yeah. Okay. Shall we tell him the secret that we know about him? You are magnificent. Yeah, that was wonderful to hear. So, I have people in that camera that's broadcast all over the world, actually. And there's probably a Reverend Rita and a Reverend Patrick watching, since they're in California now. But there are probably many other people. So we're going to point to that back up way above the clock and that camera and say something about what we know about them. You are magnificent. Well, if we know it about all those people, we have to admit we know it about ourselves. So put your hand on your heart if you choose and just feel it and say it like you mean it. I am magnificent. Okay, but we're a community. So let's do the we are magnificent. Now, why don't you turn to somebody behind you, in front of you, whatever, on the side of you, and let them know just who they are. So, are you? It's so fun to see all this magnificence going on. But I have somebody that really is excited to come up here and sing. So I think it's time for Melissa. Melissa Moto, everybody.
Hi, everybody. So before I sing, I'm going to say a prayer that sort of goes with the repurposing theme for this month. And repurposing is about adopting a new perspective or changing the way you've always used something in a new way. And there is a lot of change going on in the world right now. So we are being forced to repurpose our old beliefs, our conditioning and ways of going on. But the one constant that we can always depend upon is the truth of who we really are. And that is the oneness of all there is. So in the spirit of this, I speak this prayer for all of us here and in the world, that we may change and adapt with new purpose and trust. And perhaps that will leave soon. Okay. I know that God is all there is, not distant, not partial, not divided. One source, one light, one life. And I am not outside this life, because this life is within me. I am a radiant, rightful expression of it. My thoughts are its thoughts in motion. My hands are its hands in action. My breath is its pulse in form. I recognize that even as the earth recalibrates and systems shift and old patterns collapse, inviting us to repurpose, the oneness remains unchanged, and I remain within it. Today, I live not in fear of change, but in harmony with evolution. I claim the fullness of my purpose. I trust the unfolding of my path. I welcome new ways of seeing, living, and being as clear expressions of Spirit's infinite diversity. I know that life moves through me, not against me. I grow not to become worthy, but because I already am worthy. And as I rise, I lift others by my field and frequency. I speak these words as law, and I rest in its truth as we affirm, and so it is. So this is a song that is about change. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change. No one stays the same. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold, 'cause that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in life you can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Winter turns to spring. A wounded heart will heal, but never much too soon. Yes, everything must change. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold, 'cause that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in life you can be sure of, except sun lights up the sky, rain comes from the clouds, and hummingbirds do fly. Rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and music makes me cry.
So, thank you, Melissa. It was lovely. So, it's my moment in time to introduce Reverend, I was going to call you doctor, but I better not, Reverend Diane Decker, to give the talk for today.
Thank you, Roseanne. Good morning, everyone. Aloha, Bob. Thank you for taking this moment with me. Aloha to all of you. Kiana, thank you for the aromatherapy this morning. It's beautiful. Thank you so much. In preparation for this talk, I asked the Revs what the topic for us was, and they said repurpose. And I said, repurpose? Hence the question marks in today's title. I thought of repurposing as recycling, reusing, change your thinking, change your life perhaps. But it's that sort of, but not exactly. So we've all had moments when our lives have felt broken, finished, or thrown off course. And I'm definitely one of those. But what if nothing can be wasted? What if nothing is wasted in life? When I look at the natural world around me, I see that what is no longer needed by one creature becomes a blessing for another. What if God could take our detours and mistakes and turn them into blessings? Today we explore the spiritual principle of repurposing, the sacred act of taking what was and using it for what can be. It's not just about reusing, as in reusing a box or a bag. It's about seeing something new in the old. It's not just about changing your mind, it's about transformation. Nothing has meaning except the meaning I give it, says the Course in Miracles. We are not here to be victims of life. We are co-creators. Repurpose is possible because of the divine creativity within us. We get to choose how we interpret what happens to us. Repurposing begins with recognizing that I can choose again. I can change my relationship to the situation. I can reinterpret my path, and I can create a completely new direction for my life. Were all of you here for the tsunami this week? Sue didn't raise her hand because she was out on a boat. And because she was out on a boat, I had some fear. Now, I know in my scientific mind that a tsunami doesn't cause damage until it piles up on the shore and hits things and falls over. That's what happens with a tsunami. I've studied oceanography. I know how that works. But she was out there, and I was up there. And so I had some fear about this situation. And everybody from the mainland's calling me, where's Sue? Where's Sue? Is Sue okay? Because everybody knows she's out on a Sea Scout cruise, mentoring teens, and enjoying the day. So when I text her and say, are you aware of the tsunami warning? She says, yeah, we know about it. We're going out to deep water. And I went, oh. Now, I know in my mind that being close to shore is probably the worst thing they could have done. And that's where they were anchored off Pulahale, enjoying that turquoise, aqua blue water out there. And that's where they were anchored at the time. And that's the worst place they could have been, is anchored at the shore during a tsunami. Now, we all know what happened during the tsunami. It turned out to be like less than a foot when it hit Kauai. It was not a big deal here. But I was around in 2011 when Japan took the hit. And I remember what that looked like. So that's what my physical body was doing with this information. It was going, oh my God, we're going to get hit like Japan got hit. Sue sends me a text. We're having the Tsunami Sunset Dinner Cruise. How's that for reframing the situation? How's that for repurposing something that I, in my mind, had as a possible catastrophe and something I could do nothing about, to we're going to ride this out in style. We're going to have orange chicken dinner. We're going to have Chinese food over rice for dinner. We're going to sail around out in the deep water, and we're going to enjoy this time that we can't be anchored at sea. It took me a while to wrap my mind around a sunset tsunami dinner cruise, but I appreciate, as I was getting ready for this talk, I appreciated the reframe, the repurposing, the renaming and renewing of what this situation actually was. So thank you. When we feel stuck, when we feel scared, when we feel like something's going on, it's really a spiritual invitation to say and ask ourselves, what else could this be used for? What is going on here that I really can get a new idea about? Ernest Holmes wrote that false mental causes are removed by a freshness of thought, sustained by an affirmative outlook of faith, and then trust in the perfection of life. How often do we forget that last piece? Trust in the perfection of life. Everything around us is unfolding perfectly. Sometimes we get distracted by the news that makes it look like things are not unfolding perfectly. But wait and see what comes of all that's occurring in the world, not just here on Kauai or in the United States, but all around the world. Let me use an example from my own life. I had just completed practitioner studies in 2008. I did it! I completed my spiritual studies, yay! And at least that's what I thought. What was really going on, though, was that I had been in preparation all this time for my true calling. I had needed the push. Have you ever been in a place where you needed the push to actually step out on your dreams? When we reframe the challenge, we move on from why me to what now? In 2009, I was let go of my very favorite job in forestry. I had been working there about 4 or 5 years, and I loved this job. I knew that I was going to do it the rest of my life. And then the housing market tanked, and forest products were no longer really needed right now, and so I was laid off in 2009. What I thought about this detour was more like a catastrophe, but it became a doorway to my purpose, my ministry. Space had now been created in my life for a fresh starting place and a life of greater meaning. I don't know about you, but it's hard to do graduate level work when you're working a full-time job. So the full-time job was now safely out of the way, and I had all the time in the world. Man is not bound by any mistake of the past. He is free to create a new pattern of thought through which his new experiences may come. Sometimes I think about Ernest Holmes' writings in the early 1900s, all the way through to the 1950s, and I think, we really need some new information. We really need some new writers to read. And then I find these gems in there, and I just have to share them with you. Because the writings of Ernest Holmes in The Science of Mind and Spirit nourish me every day. I'm not bound by any mistake. It wasn't my fault that the market tanked. I had nothing to do with Madoff and his friends. I had nothing to do with the housing industry going whoosh, and there being no need for my job in forestry research. Similar things are going on today. None of us have anything to do with what the decisions are being made out there and what's happening out there in the world. The only thing we have is control over our own lives and what we're going to do with it. Spirit wastes nothing. And so this experience that I was having this hard experience. I had never been laid off from a job. I felt like I was fired. Now, I know from a human resources perspective, there's a big difference between being fired and being laid off, but I was let go when I was at the top of my game doing a good job for them, so I felt fired. I felt like I had done something wrong. This turned out to be a place where creativity got to show up. I had to ask, what are the talents that I've laid aside and that I want to make use of? Well, let me just take a little aside here. The talents that I had put aside were thinking I was done with my spiritual practices, with my spiritual studies, that there wasn't more that I could learn. The other thing was, I got going in the garden. This was when my love of growing vegetables resprouted because I thought, well, if I'm not going to be working right now, I'm going to be growing food. And I grew so much food that year. You guys have heard this story before. I gave 300 pounds of it to the food bank because I had more than I could possibly use and give away to my friends. Last week, Marion Head was here, and she introduced our revolutionary agreement for this month. How many of you remember that story? She was talking about how she was having a difficult time in her own mind with her marriage. Now, Glenn didn't see anything wrong with their marriage. He was going along just fine, but in her mind, there wasn't a thing he could do right. And she transformed that relationship through gratitude and by looking for the good in that relationship. And that's what I had to do when I lost that job. I had to look for the good in it. I had to look for what was wanting to be born through me during that vacant time in my life. To repurpose means to dig into our old stories and bring them out into new light. Anything you can dream of is not too great for you to undertake if it hurts no man and brings happiness and good into your life. Repurpose is not only about using the old in a new way, it's about realigning with the divine purpose for your life. It's not a power of will, it's a power of choice. During that time after I was laid off, I was given the opportunity to attend the summer convention of Centers for Spiritual Living. I was given that opportunity. I had the opening in my calendar. Thank you, Spirit. And I had the ability to go. My inner guidance was whispering, look, this is the way you should go. This is for you, Diane. And that's what kept coming up while I attended that summer conference. As we clear what no longer is useful to us, or Spirit clears it for us, we are drawn into harmony. Harmony with our gifts, with our joy, and with our deepest why. There's an Indian parable about a water bearer. He had 2 large pots, and he had a yoke over his back, and he carried them to the river every single day to get water to bring back to his house. One pot was perfect and always delivered the full measure. The other had a crack in it, though, and only brought forth half a pot of water by the time he got home. For 2 years, this went on daily, and the cracked pot felt ashamed, discouraged, and apologized to the water bearer for its flaw. The water bearer smiled and said, "Did you not notice the flowers growing on your side of the path? Knowing about the crack, knowing about the water leaking out, I have spread seeds. And every day you have been watering them with your crack. For 2 years, I have been able to pick beautiful flowers for my table, all because of you. The pot's flaw had been repurposed into beauty and service and joy. It had a higher purpose that it didn't recognize. That's just the same for us. We have mistakes and flaws and things about us that are cracked and worn out. Mistakes we made in the past, things we wish we had done differently, or things seem to be flat and nothing going on. There's a different, greater purpose for those areas of our life. What in your life wants to be seen differently? Today, I lay aside all fear and doubt and enter into the consciousness of faith and love. I believe that all the power of the universe is with me and for me, writes Ernest Holmes. Spirit invites us to not just repurpose our stuff, which a lot of us are pretty good at, but our stories, our beliefs, our lives. Is there an old experience that's asking you to repurpose it, to be used for the good, to find a new way out of something old, cracked, flawed, finished, done for, yours to do? So let's take this into prayer now and know that each one of us has those things. We don't get through life without cracks and bumps and bangs. We just don't, because that's part of what Spirit is using us for, is to bring forth our light, to let the light shine through, to bring forth the good from each experience. What we do instead is we stand for a moment and take a breath and look at it from a new perspective. And so in this moment, I stand in the truth that God is all there is, that there is only one thing happening in this whole world, and it is God expressing as life itself. And so as I breathe in and I breathe out, I'm breathing in and out the energy of Spirit. That divine energy flows in and through every cell of my body, renewing, replacing, refreshing, making new, repurposing, all for the good. And so as I stand in that divine energy, I know that our relationships are just like that. Our relationships have flaws. Our relationships are finished. Our relationships are cracked in places. And our relationships are filled with joy and love and the energy of Spirit. All of that working together for the highest good. And so I give thanks that our relationships are renewed now and seen in a new way. I give thanks that even our bodies are renewed and refreshed in a new way. I give thanks that our finances are renewed and refreshed in a new way, and that our creativity especially is born anew as we look at things just a little bit differently today. The power for transformation is in and through each one of us. There's nothing that can get in the way of you living your highest good except your decision to do so. And so today we make a new choice. Today we reframe. Today we repurpose and allow the good to flow in and through each one of us in a new and magnificent way. Mahalo.
Would you give it up for Reverend Diane? She puts a lot of passion and love in her talks. Thank you. So we have Joni and the Namaste Singers coming up to thrill us, delight us, get us rocking and rolling. Something like that? Oh, sure.
This is a song called Namaste. It's by Jennifer Farron, no relation. And it's a call and response song, so we expect some audience participation. I'll sing the first part, and the Namaste Singers will help you with your part. And if you'd like to get up and dance, please do. Hit it, Jonathan. Namaste. 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 Oh, namaste. Oh, namaste. The light in me. The light in me. Sees the light in you. Sees the light in you. The joy in me. Celebrate you. Celebrate you. Said namaste. 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 Oh, namaste. Oh, namaste. The truth in me. The truth in me. Sees the truth in you. Spirit now, celebrates you. Said namaste. 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 Oh, namaste. Oh, namaste. The love in me. Namaste. 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 Oh, namaste. Oh, namaste. Said namaste. Namaste. Oh, namaste. Oh, namaste. One more time. Namaste. Namaste.
Okay, here we go. Now this is our time to do our collection. Thank you for being here and participating. And you know what collection is? It's about our blood circulating in our bodies. Our blood goes through our bodies to bring good to every spot in our body. I am so grateful for that, knowing that my blood is circulating everywhere it needs to be. And so right now, we're asking you to circulate. Let's circulate. So, stewards, here we go. Collection music.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing day. This healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for
blessing over this circulation. And as you know, to circulate is to move through our bodies, move through the center. It is bringing good so that the good goes out back into the world. So I appreciate and thank everyone for depositing something here or doing it online, however you choose to give. We truly appreciate it. Mahalo. Okay, Volunteer of the Month presentation, Melissa. I'm just reading the script. And
What did I do now?
Angela. Duh. You can tell I only do this once every 10 years or so. Okay. I am presenting to you this Volunteer of the Month appreciation. And as we volunteer, we appreciate all of our volunteers because that's how we're run here pretty much, except for Angela and a couple of paid staff. But anyway, we're going to do a drawing for July's Starbucks card. Yeah. Can you, do you want to talk about that? We're so smooth here. Okay, this is she's closing her eyes, putting her hand in there. She doesn't know what person she's drawing for this. Amazing. Oh my goodness, Starbucks card.
So this is for the month of July, which just ended. Gallon.
Galen? Galen! Talk about how you love volunteering.
I like, feeling like I'm part of the community, and I didn't expect this because I never put my name in. I suppose somebody else did. But I like feeling like I have an extended family, and so I want to chip in where I can. So we're all one. Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of shy. But yeah, thank you for whoever did that.
Congratulations, and thanks for volunteering. Okay, announcements for this week. I think that's my next job, is to announce for, we did the volunteer of the month and we did the drawing. Okay, it's the men and women's groups right after service with Reverend Diane and Jonathan. So I think the men are going to be in the back and the women are going to be up front. So if you want to stay for a wonderful, exciting conversation about whatever you want to bring up and discuss. The next one is Namaste Singers. No rehearsals this month. Yay. The food drive continues, and there's been about I'm not sure of the stats, Reverend Diane, something like 1 billion pounds of food that we've collected here.
This year so far, I think about 450 pounds so far.
It was very good. We'll get up to 1 billion someday. And there's a day of caring coming up. That's a center cleanup day on Thursday, August 7th from 11 to 3 p.m. Please see Angela or sign up in the back or just show up. And the Sacred Journey will be October 17th through 24th. The Revs have talked about that. And it's going to be fabulous, and they're planning all sorts of new things. So if you want to know more about that, please talk to Angela and or to the Revs when they come back. And reminder, your calendar for August 23rd is Dr. Eric Overholtzer returns with a brand new 9D breathwork workshop. 9DMT, a shamanic transformational journey. So that sounds like something you want to put on your calendar. We have a new class starting on September 3rd, light, camera, action. It's a wrap. And this means the Revs will be here for this, taking you through the process of manifestation by embodying quantum physics principles. So it's time for me to invite the practitioners up for after-service treatments and to provide thank yous for to Reverend Diane Decker. Thank you so much for holding down the fort. The Namaste Singers, the musicians, and Melissa Mojo, Anna Myers and Luis Padilla, the Malama team, Ron Stover and Leslie David, hospitality team, Sue Wood and Sue Buckley, collection stewards, Jonathan Lee, sound tech, Charles Wolfert, video tech, and his assistant, Angela Phillips, bookstore attendee, and thank you for everything. So as the Namaste Singers do their closing song, God in everything. Mahalo.